Hey Summoners, welcome back to IPL Killing Spree. I have a guest with me, if you saw Game 1, Dan Din from Epic. Good to have you. Game 1.
Game 1?
Game 1. My God.
Oh, that was intense.
It's
Like, I cannot believe oh my god, that fight. That 3 kills, level 1.
it was like Jaws. You know, like they were in the bush. They all knew where everyone was. Just waiting, and Tarek just he's at the end of the boat.
I felt like Curse actually didn't expect all 5 of them. Like, I was talking to you about like the whole psychology of the game. Okay?
Yeah.
So Curse knows that Maokai wants to do Wraith. Okay, Reflex, is like just thought about it on another level. It's like, oh, they know that we know. or we know that they know that we want to do Wraith. Therefore, we're gonna all wait here. First person walks in, we're gonna kill him. So that's exactly what happened. Like, I think I was talking about it earlier. Like, not only was it bad that they face checked that and they died instantly, it's because they went around the long way.
Yeah.
What that means is they're sandwiched in between the enemy's base and 5 players, so they have no escape route.
No.
If they're gonna escape route, right? If they're gonna escape, they have to go back around. That means that, there's going to be a lot more casualty than just one. Had it been just straight forward, just face checking Tarek going through like the normal path, he dies, they back out. Now, it's like he dies, they have to fight and they have to run. And so it's not, I don't even know how to describe it. I was like a little baffled and confused at the same time. I was like, did that really just happen? But that was really good. That was really good play for Reflex. They outthought Curse.
And between games too, we were also talking a little bit about Corky bot lane, because he got shut down really hard early.
Oh yeah, so basically, like at one point, Graves had twice a CS, got a kill on Corky.
Yeah.
So what happened, right? If you let Graves get farmed in that team comp, it's gonna be really, really hard, right? It's gonna let Curse get back in the game. Curse did close the gap. I think at one point they're only 200 gold behind from the initial 1,000 something. So. I was very, very worried for Reflex because, Curse does have a better team comp. Let it get to 30, 40 minutes and just even in gold, Curse would have won easily. So, just a lot of mishaps, a lot of crazy plays, and then just snowballed from there on.
Yeah. And I also was watching Udyr top lane too. You got a triple kill pretty early on too.
Yep, he was at 5-1. I think about before the first dragon, 5-1.
That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all.
That's not what you want to happen if you were Cursed, basically.
So while you guys are watching at home, remember we are always giving stuff away for you guys. Again, tweet at us at IGN Pro League who you think is going to win, and just like the weeks before, if you win from our Twitter contest, we got our IPL hoodie for you guys. We got our Razer mouse pad for you guys. We actually unboxed it this time. We're using it because we like to, it's a good product. Why not use it? And as always, IPLreplays@gmail.com. You got a good replay, we will give you a nice Riot Nasus code right here. Everyone is in the room. We see if we can get this started right now. Oh man, I'm a big fan of Reflex.
Oh yeah,
I really am. I saw him at MLG, and they're just I like that new blood, that infusion of new blood into the competitive scene.
Yeah, the way I feel about Reflex is about the same way as Goose actually. I think they can be really creative in their team comp, and they're just one of those teams where they have solid players. Just given a good day, they can take out people. So I feel like it's. Let's see if they make it happen again today.
Yeah, and then Curse also is fresh off of Kiev.
Yeah.
So
Curse. I still have money on Curse for some reason. Like, it felt like just a couple of things that snowballed the game out of control. But you know, like, I'm just gonna be a little honest with like who I'm rooting for. I'm not gonna try and jump ships halfway, but I feel like Curse does have a little bit more coordination. Their team picks are a lot more coordinated. Just a lot of snowballing happened last game. A couple of bad decisions actually too. So let's see if they actually perform better.
So these bans are coming out pretty quick right now.
Mm-hmm.
Reflex already taken out Vlad, Ramus, and Sona.
Mm-hmm.
Curse, I think these teams have they've watched each other play
Yeah.
here specifically, and they're making very targeted bans. Curse really wants to get Rumble out of there immediately.
Curse doesn't want to deal with Rumble. They banned Maokai because Maokai destroyed Rise last game. Like the whole Maokai LeBlanc, it's not the first time you've seen it. It actually worked really well against me. I took the first taste of that at MLG Providence. It's brutal. It's brutal. You get that twisted Vance with LeBlanc is this a dead summoner right there. And so I'm guessing they don't want to deal with it this game. They're like, all right, I'd rather deal with Kennen than Maokai. But then again, Reflex is a strong Kennen too.
Mm. And then we also had that little discussion. Everyone since Kiev, AD Kennen, maybe
AD Kennen. They do play AD Kennen. I've seen them.
Ooh,
they have. It wasn't the first time at Kiev that I saw an AD Kennen. So
really, how far along has AD Kennen been around?
It's been around since the start. I mean, it's actually it was my core champion for 3v3s actually.
Nice.
We ran 80 Kennen in our 3v3 comp. That's when me and another teammate, another player actually, we climbed to rank 1 with 80 Kennen. People say, oh, lol, troll. And I was like, no, dude, we crush.
Legit. Absolutely legit.
The only thing he has is basically his ult's going to give a lot of free damage. He can ult people and stun the team. But he doesn't have a steroid. So, the utility of the team stun or the steroid. And so, you got to balance it. It's really team.
Oh, wait, are we going to see it? We're going to see the NY Jackie Vigar.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. That's going to be, I cannot wait to see that. Baron was hyping that up much when Curse was last on the show.
I think I tasted the Vigar firsthand now. I think back to MOG Raleigh.
Ooh.
His Vigar, I think I gave him blue buff at level 4 or something and just destroyed us. I was so demoralized. We got crushed so hard the first game against his Vigar. But we came back and we won, but that's not the point.
So let's go over some of these picks real quick. Skarner, Corky, Kennen, Gregus, Soraka for Reflex. How's that looking?
It's a little weird because Kennen is like engage, keep them in place. Gragas is all right. Let's knock them away. You kind of want the Gragas against like a AOE comp. Curse doesn't really have an AOE comp. Basically, when Vagar catches somebody, they're gonna blow him up. So
yeah. So Curse is kind of going for more of like a single damage.
Yeah, mostly is a lot of single target damage. Basically, what I feel like Skarner's gotta do is Skarner needs to ult Vagar before Vagar ults somebody. So if it's just really dependent on that Skarner ult. If they can catch one person and kill him, then it can be pretty good. But I'm a little confused on the Gragas and Kennen though, because you have Kennen to keep him in place for Corky to do AOE damage, but you have Gragas, so if he times it wrong, it can disrupt Kennen. So hopefully they got all the kinks worked out.
Yeah. I'm really hoping we don't see a misplay where Kennen just has someone locked in ult. Gragas comes in, look at me, I'm helping, throws the barrel and just knocks him away.
Yeah,
I really hope we don't see that.
Like another thing is Skarner is kind of just get in there, slow everybody, tank everything too. So the synergy between Skarner, Corky, and I'd say Kennen is there, right? I just that Gragas pick is kind of throwing me off a little bit.
So we will see how things work out. These are your teams for Game 2, Curse versus Reflex. Reflex is running Skarner, Corky, Kennen, Gragas, and Soraka. Curse, we got Udyr, Graves, Lee Sin, Vagar, and Janna. This is IPL Killing Spree. Game 2 is coming up in just a moment. I am here with Dan Din. It is going to be a good time. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IPL Killing Spree. This is Game 2, Curse versus Reflex. I am Hatperson. I'm here with Dan Din from Epic. And Baron, I wish you were here. There's your Baron Vigar skin that you wanted. If we go to a Game 3, you might be able to see it. But for now, though, we are just getting started. So, again, we were discussing earlier before the break the Gragas and Kennen picks.
Yeah, one of the thing about the Gragas Kennen pick is I was talking about how like Skarner, Corki, Kennen have like relatively really good synergy, right? Like you have Skarner go in there, grab somebody, he can tank, and Kennen can follow up with an ult and stun everybody. If Gragas ults too early, it's gonna disrupt Kennen's ult, right? If he ults too late, well, it's not really too late. It's just like the only thing I got to worry about is just ulting too early. Ideally, what would happen is Kennen would ult and then Gragas would knock 1 or 2 forward, 3 back immediately when the stun wears off. Then that would be like a perfect pickup. But you know, there's a lot of potential for Gragas messing it up if he ults too early. Because as a player, I feel like I need to unload like all my spells right away. So you know, if he just times that wrong, he can be potentially detrimental to his team. There's not really a lot of synergy in keeping people in place for free damage. So that's the thing.
So Reflex was camping out in that bush there, trying to see if we can make a repeat of Game 1. I realize it's not going to happen. They are going to go in here to blue on side of Curse. They're going to find Graves. Skarner's going to scare him away, make him burn to flash. Oh, are they in position to steal their blue, though? Are they going to steal some ice cream?
I don't think they're going to steal it. The moment the CV drop, right,
Yep.
that lets Reflex... Oh, wow, they are going back.
Ooh.
This is risky.
Oh, Lee Sin has decided to back off, actually. They're not prepared for this. We might be able to still come in. Might steal it. No, not in time. And they're going to leave the one like a jerk.
So, like, the whole expectation on Reflex Invade is this, okay? This is Lee Sin. Lee Sin usually starts on the red side of the jungle. What that means is it leaves the blue side for free. So it wasn't in their expectation to bump into Curse. So it kind of surprised them a little bit, actually. So I'm surprised that Curse wasn't more proactive on stopping Skarner. You know, they dropped the CV. They knew that there's only 4. And so, like, I would back out if I knew that there's 5 and maybe there's only 4 of us, because that would potentially be giving him some kills. But, you know, you drop the CV, you know exactly how many is there, and you know how many you have. So that was very easy to stop. You know, you have your top lane already, and what happened is, since it's your jungle, you can get back to farming faster than they can. So it would have been more beneficial for Curse to stop that. But I think they're just a little too passive because of what happened last game, and they're, you know, it's scary.
You can't really blame them. I mean, that was brutal. Brutal loss, Game 1.
Yeah. It's just like what happens is Curse, I feel like, is a stronger team because just of they're more experienced with the bans, picks, and just playing together. And so I feel like what would lose them a game is if they mess up really hard early game. And I think they feel the same way about their team. So they're like, all right, let's play safe. Let's get our farm in before we start getting too crazy. You know, like giving up those early kills is a good way to ensure your team to lose.
Yeah, you don't want to give up really anything this early game, especially even things like buffs. So like, but Lee Sin, I mean, he doesn't really lose too much by not having blue buff. He is an energy-based champion. It's not he's going to use a regen, but there's still a healthy amount of cooldown. And right now, Skarner is being pinged out by Curse. They know they CV'd him. They know it's at red. Lee Sin, he's coming into the jungle. He's going to decide to break away. That could have been a potential kill on Skarner, but Lee Sin is still roaming around. He has an idea. He's over to there at small golems. He queues in.
Oh,
Skarner, he's trying to get away. He gets exhausted. Lee Sin tries to get the slow off. He will get in tower range. Skarner gets away.
I think what Lee Sin should have done is, you know, he did finish red. So what I would have done personally, I would have walked around and saved my Q to actually to hit Skarner. he didn't have sight, so what he thought might have happened is maybe one of the golems down, and I'll hit Skarner instead. Had that happen, that would have been a free kill. But like a easier way to ensure that kill is walk around, exhaust him, cripple him, land your Q, guaranteed kill.
Yeah.
So I felt like that could have been better, but I do have a bias. I have sight, he doesn't. So it's more risky to just walk around and just face check that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, if the golems or if one of the golems just happened to be down, and if you managed to get the hit off of Skarner, that would have been pretty flashy. It would have been very impressive. But this time,
it would have been a blind kill actually. Like
got lucky.
I got lucky. Well, the chance was always there. That's probably why he did it.
Yeah.
I felt like he burnt exhaust unnecessarily though. He could have saved it for a better time.
But I also can't help but think that the CV kind of it forced Skarner to just delay a little bit. It's like, oh no, I'm being CV'd. What do I do? What do I do? And maybe Lee Sin could have just had the timing off just a little bit. For most normal junglers, maybe that golem would have been down.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at the farm, right, like you can tell that Curse is winning without any path to play. Like the same thing you saw last game. Reflex started out over 1,000 gold ahead, and then the gold just started closing before some serious blunder had happened. But I feel like if Curse plays this right, just farms, it's gonna end really, really well for them.
And bot lane was a little bit more even than it was last game. Mid lane, it's Vigar is really just working over Gragas. It's really unfortunate. But Skarner is in the side bush. He's gonna go in on Vigar. Vigar gets a stun. He gets the baby cage up. Skarner walks right into it, and he will get away.
It's actually really, really hard to gank Vigar pre-6 Skarner, because what Skarner has to do is he's got to land his ult. He's got to land his slow, and Vigar has a guaranteed stun, because as a melee, you have to close that distance, to get anywhere near to stun or slow Vigar. So pre-6, I don't see a kill happening unless Gragas hits 6 and is able to barrel Vigar back.
Right.
But like as a pro player, Vigar I feel should be able to keep the right distance. That was a really, really bad
overextended there.
It would have been fine. She would have taken half that damage if she landed her tornado. But what happened was Corki Valkyrie passed it.
Yep.
So it didn't hit him.
Oh, at least he's cursed. They're waiting. They're just anticipating the steal of blue, and Lee Sin's just waiting for the right moment. His smite is up, but they realize something up. Udyr comes in from the back. He's alone. Kennen tries to get the ult off. He gets it though. First blood goes to Gragas, and Lee Sin follows soon after.
So what happened was Reflex was in anticipation of stealing blue. It wasn't just Skarner going there by himself stealing it. So Curse did know that he's trying to steal it, but they didn't know how many people were actually there. They didn't expect all 5 of them to be there.
And since all 5 of them are there, they're just going to go straight for Dragon. Might as well.
So there's no chance of Curse stealing this. I have no idea why Jackie's even trying. He's giving the other team an opportunity to kill him, and he's not farming. What I would have done in this situation is I would have probably just gone right back to farming.
Kennen got really low. Something like that. But I think also that last team fight though is we had both the Kennen and Gragas ult go off.
Yeah, so it was basically a 4v or 5v3 or 5v2. It wasn't just Reflex being alone. So what happened was Reflex was expecting to steal blue, then do Dragon immediately after. So they had the team coordination and they were prepared for that. So Curse wasn't prepared. They knew that Reflex had their blue on timer, and Lee Sin was prepared to take it, but he wasn't prepared for the other 4 people behind Skarner.
So we are 9 minutes in. Reflex is up 2 kills and 1 dragon, but the superior farming of Curse is pretty. They've evened it out a little bit. Only 1k behind. It's not too much.
I felt like if Curse or if Vigar didn't even contest it, he probably would have farmed another 200 gold mid. And the thing is when you get Dragon, right, your team gets stronger. The person that has to leave lane actually loses out on farm. So the net gold you get from Dragon isn't 190 or 200 times 5. It's actually a little bit less because you're not farming where you're doing Dragon, because you're grouping up.
Yeah.
So the whole net benefit, as long as if you don't draw the other team and take it anyways, then you're gonna lose out on farm. Maybe a tower. It's actually almost even if Curse was to just go straight back to lane and take a tower. But I felt like Veigar sticking around was a little unnecessary because there's no way he was gonna steal that.
Yeah, Veigar couldn't really have possibly done a whole lot, but I think he could afford to stay there because he's so ridiculously ahead of Gragas right now. And look at the
The CS.
difference. The CS, it's a 30 CS difference.
Like the thing is still, even though he's ahead, like you still want to press that advantage. The more farm you get, the more giving potential you have.
Cannon and Skarner are together on Udyr. I'm not quite sure how much damage you're going to be able to do to him. He just turtle stance, better run away. And Lee Sin comes in, gets a shield off Udyr, forcing them away, forcing them to break up. But Lee Sin, maybe he's going to be taking quite a bit of damage in the meantime. Not a successful gank.
Yeah, like as Skarner, like one of the people I hate ganking is probably Udyr, because what happens is he can burst stun you and he can burst movement away. Right? He stuns you and then he runs really quickly.
But Kennen is still pushing the tower without Skarner. Does not know Lee Sin is nearby. Now Kennen knows the ward is there. There's the pink ward on the end of Curse. You just want to make sure that Kennen can get there.
Not good.
Exhaust. Oh, look at that clutch exhaust. The ignite will get Lee Sin though. That exhaust was way too late.
That exhaust. Oh, he was already dead. But
he was already dead. Yeah.
He was already dead. Like what he should have done was he should have just finished off the ward. Because what happened was he ran away from it, and he ran towards it again because he's really greedy. He's like, all right, it's one hit from dead. I want to finish this. So had he not ran away and just hit it, that would have saved him enough time to actually just run away.
Sometimes it's not worth it.
It's
Corki's taking quite a bit of damage from Graves. He exhausts again a little bit too late. Soraka trying to do something. Graves flashes in. Corki flashes away. Janna has to ult. Corki might just be able to deal damage to finish off Janna if she does not get away. Graves just pecking away. Corki, whoa! 38 health getting away. Soraka trying to finish off Janna bot lane. Will be tornadoed. CV goes in the bush. Make sure to get vision. Gragas, here he comes with the ult. Gragas.
Oh my god, that was a good
misses
juke.
the belly. But the Janna is alone. Will get ignited. The shield may not be able to do much, but Gragas is now cornered. Gets Janna. Was it worth it?
It wasn't worth it.
Was not worth it.
As a port for a carry is definitely not worth it.
Oh,
I think what happened was I don't think Reflex got the assist on that either. So
no, I don't think they did. But it was just it was a really extended fight. It's kind of got that that sense of bloodlust where oh, I can't believe they got away. I have to get this kill, and that gave enough time for Curse to just re-engage, just regroup, and gather everyone down at bottom. Curse pinging in the bot river. Veigar gets a stun off on Skarner, getting the damage. Lee Sin joins in the fray.
no, Veigar doesn't have mana. They can't kill that.
Can't do it. Soraka wandering around Dragon. I don't know why she's there. I have no idea why she's there. She's all alone. Heals are trying to do something, but that may not be enough.
That's dead.
She's gone. Corki, can you get away? Lee Sin is coming in around on your position.
That was a very kick.
Oh, wow.
That was a amazing
That was
kick.
a muddy kick.
So what happened was Corki, when he's still Valkyrie,
Yeah.
right, you can still disrupt it. If you tornado him, it's going to stop in spot.
Yeah.
So what happened was Lee Sin waited for the Valkyrie before he kicked. So it was a very, very well-timed ult.
There's a video I was actually playing with some of the IGN guys. I actually did the same thing to Shyvana's ult.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful every time it happens too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm getting away. No, you're not. Boot.
Uh-huh.
Get back there. And that was wonderful, wonderful play by Crumbs.
Yeah, like one of the things I do when I play Alistar against Corki is, like I go in, I flash, and I stun him, and I time his Valkyrie, and then I headbutt him out. So, not only does it cancels his Valkyrie, right, it knocks him further away from where he wants to be. So it was just a very, very well-timed ult.
Wonderfully timed, and Kennen will take top tower in the meantime, though. And Gragas is still pretty behind mid lane. I'm feeling bad. I feel bad for the man.
My thing with Gragas is I feel like he can get Gib late game, but he has a distance to not get Gib, so he's actually not in a bad shape in terms of team fighting. What I'm more worried about is
coming around with the ult. Will we get in tower range? Yo, the barrel! knocks Vigar back. Vigar gets the baby cage off. Will Grey gets died to the ignite. I think Vigar might die first, but the ignite will it get him?
Oh my god, the
Oh,
beat kill!
minion!
The last minion beat kill him!
Minions OP!
Oh my
One
god.
shot. He was at 8 health. Minion dot
12 damage.
Woo! Bop. Kills him. Wow.
He literally died by like 2 over damage.
Minions.
2 damage over.
Minions OP. Oh, we got teleported coming into bush with Udyr. Oh, and Udyr is trying to scaring off Reflex. I think they are now in position to take this dragon. Curse will regain some gold with that. Kennen trying to do something. They're all here. CV is up. They still have a one-man advantage. And Kennen flashes in to try and get the ult. Gets kicked away. And Lee Sin ridiculously low. Skarner and Kennen go finish that off. Janna very low. Tries to tornado Skarner away to shield. Might just be does not save her.
I think in the grander scheme of things, I think they lost 2 for that, right?
They did, yeah.
They lost 2 players for that. That's not a bad trade at all.
That's yeah.
You know, two kills for Dragon. I think the net gold is actually in favor of Curse. If you look at the gold count, it's still pretty similar.
It's ridiculously even.
It didn't shift even though they're 3 kills ahead.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, 3 kills ahead and a tower ahead. Still pretty even. You know, I mean, 1K gold difference is, you know, nothing really to write home about.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, in this, I don't know. But Gregus, I think, you know, for the most part, has actually been pretty money on his ults so far. So, I mean, I'm not as worried as I was at Champ Select, but I'm still concerned.
The thing is ulting in terms of like skirmish versus ulting in a team fight, there's not as much synergy. So depending on when that team fight happens, is either let's see if he fights or flight.
Yep. So, you know, and sometimes it might be worth it, might not be. But and Kennen all alone up top, free farming pretty much. Bot lane, we still got some action going in on Corki. Graves is trying to do as much as he can. And Kennen is actually, Kennen has now surpassed Udyr. Not by much, but Udyr, you know, also been, you know, has no kills or assists to his name.
Like what happens is when you push a lane, you're gonna build up a cache of creep for the other lane. So what Kennen did was he pushed the lane before he leave.
Yep.
So right now this is when Udyr is gonna farm it back.
Exactly.
So like the creep difference is actually non-existent. Udyr is probably gonna get ahead of him in like about 30 seconds actually.
Yeah, it's not gonna take a whole lot. Kennen about to be sandwiched here. Lee Sin is up on that higher ground. You know, let him know. But they see him. They know he's recalling. They're not going to really do much about it, though. Bot lane being pinged by Reflex. Still, like now everyone's just kind of content with farming right now at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Curse is playing a lot more passive just because of what happened last game.
Yeah.
They just their goal this game is just to catch up and farm and win the team fights.
Yeah, they kind of had a little bit of that fear of God put into them from game 1. Is like, you know, like we you know, everything was kind of downhill from that initial engagement at level 1.
Like the thing with like really good teams is you see them farm a lot because they're confident in their team fighting capabilities. Like they feel like I'd rather lose straight up than get cheesed by some lucky kill early game.
Oh wow, so much damage.
Had he had his ignite, he
did not.
So this is actually really dangerous.
Oh, no, Vigar did have the ignite.
Did he use it?
He did not.
Oh, he didn't.
Just missed.
No, he wasn't in range for it. The ignite range is actually a little bit shorter, so he would have to go forward. And what he would need to do is he would need to ignite first before he starts off anything, just for the extra AP, actually. That might have done the trick, actually, because the heal came late.
That it did. And Gragas is now being forced to go back, missing the baby cage. Vigar trying to get it on Kennen. We are 19 minutes in. Gold still pretty even. We're getting pings down on Dragon area from Reflex. Bot lane, still quite a bit of a farming game. Lee Sin getting that red ready. And it's kind of a dangerous thing too. Like, you know, if both teams are like, you know, just content with farming, you know, they're both really confident that they can take these team fights. And, you know, that's where you have that clash, you know, 2 confident teams.
Yeah. Like, you know, this is definitely a lot different from last game.
Yeah.
Reflex had the comp last game where they had to make it happen early game. And lucky for them, they did. because you know the type of team comp they have just falls off so heavy late game that they had to make it. This game, both team comp has the type of comp where either team can win a team fight if they execute it better than the other team. So, you know, so you're gonna see a lot more
Jana's
passive.
out of position. Gragas is coming down. Gonna let her go.
She was relatively safe position because Gragas was no way gonna knock her back. If you went to ult, it would have knocked her away.
Flash ult maybe, but not worth it for support.
Yeah,
Not worth it.
I think even with the flash ult, like the barrel travel time is actually relatively slow. So what she would be able to do is she'd be able to close the distance anyways.
Oh, we get into a lot of damage. Just Soraka just gets melted by Vigar and Graves together. Just their forces combined. Skarner trying to make something happen, but the teleport to
Oh
the
my
board
God.
from Curse. Here's Udyr. I'm a bear coming in. I think we're gonna be pushing down this tower very soon. Oh, but we have reinforcements. Kennen is here. Everyone, it's a party. Everyone's down here, but Curse has the one-man advantage. Oh,
that was
no,
really good.
Corki has to cleanse out, but doesn't matter. Does not matter. Oh, Skarner gets the ult
Oh,
in
Skarner, that's a
under
dead
there, but
Skarner.
doesn't.
That's a
It's
dead
still
Skarner.
just too much damage on him. Who's being picked off one by one. Good job on Curse, and they will be taking this tower down shortly. Wow.
So what happened in that fight was Skarner went in to ult Jackie, right?
Yeah.
And had he gotten that ult off, that fight would have been favorable for Reflex. But what happened at the same time was as he's ulting, right, Jackie flashed out into the other brush. Normally, if you flash and Skarner already gets the flash animation or the ult animation off, it's going to waste your flash. You're going to come back, and you're going to get screwed anyways. But when you lose sight on Skarner, it actually breaks the leash on his ult. So he flashes out into the darkness of the other brush, so it doesn't finish the animation. Like, the moment Skarner activates his animation, if they are in sight, it will still pull you. But because Jackie wasn't in sight, you know, he was able to break that leash.
I did not know that. I learned something today.
Oh, yeah,
How
it screwed
about
me
that?
up a lot of times, and it helped me a lot of times, so...
It still gets me too. It's like I will still sometimes play like a Skarner jungle, and like an idiot, I'll still keep ulting Gangplank.
Oh, yeah.
I will still do that. I was just like, no, it doesn't work. That doesn't do it.
Like, one of the things I hate is I messed up a lot when I first played Skarner is I would ult somebody as they walk into a brush. It would do the animation, and it would not go because the sight is broken. But now I know if I chase somebody, I chase them into the brush before I ult.
We were learning a lot of things for all you Skarner players. Ult while you have vision and never ult Gangplank. 2 tips for you guys, courtesy of IPL Killing Spree. We are almost 23 minutes in. Oh, man, the goal is the advantages just keep not really going anywhere. Two very even teams content with farming, thinking that they are the better, the dominant forces into team fights. And
I feel like Curse is actually pulling ahead. If you look at the gold count, they were behind.
They were
from
behind.
The beginning. Now they're ahead. So the gold swing is actually 3,100. So they're actually pressing. As a winning team, I feel like Curse should be able to. I like playing against them, playing with them. I feel like they're a better team in pressing their advantage. So I think from this point on, the gold gap should increase by more than it has earlier.
But if Reflex, like, what does Reflex have to do in order to close the gap?
What they have to do is, like, they have to go back to the game 1 strategy. They need good ward control. They need to pick people off. Because if they bump into... I feel like Veigar this game is sort of like LeBlanc last game. You bump into a Veigar, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Janna is now also doing the counter warning. She's got the oracles, taking down every ward he can. And Soraka does not have oracles. I don't know. The vision on Reflex is going to be going very dim very soon.
Like, a large portion of the damage is from Gragas. So I feel like if Veigar can somehow catch Gragas too, which is pretty hard. He has his charge to get out of a lot of the sticky situation. But if Gragas dies, they're going to lose everything. They lose wave clear power. That means that Curse is going to be able to push towers down. And Valkyrin is going to drop pretty hard because Veigar has his DFG. And not only that, but Valkyrin has a hefty amount of AP. That's going to work against him.
So right now, Reflex is pushing up mid, trying to make something happen. Lee Sin a little bit out of the way, but he will be down here to join momentarily with the rest of his team.
So like one of the things that's happening right now is you see Gragas with blue buff.
Up Skarner.
That's basically saying, hey, those creeps that's coming right now, it's not going anywhere. That's just a lot of clearing power, a lot of poking power that Reflex has. So if a fight's gonna happen, right, Curse needs to land a good stun on Gragas before Skarner stuns them. So like Veigar needs to, I feel like the way he's gonna get the stun off is gonna put himself in danger also. So unless Gragas actually slips up and goes too far ahead, I don't see that happening. But I mean, anything's gonna happen. It's not me playing.
It's still, you know, it's still anyone's game right now at this point. Skarner now has the oracles, trying to do some counter warding of his own. Oh, barely misses that cage. Oh, and Gragas comes in with the ult. Not quite sure why.
That's the worst person to knock forward too.
That is, yeah. Why Udyr now up front has, you know, taking the brunt of the damage. That is no problem for him. That is a missed opportunity and a wasted ult.
In terms of wasting ult, is not too bad. Well, his blue just wore off, but
yeah.
Curse doesn't have any sustain, so poking with that ult wasn't too bad. It wasn't too detrimental, because if you look at Curse's hit point, it's relatively low. They're unable to fight, which means that now, right, instead of going back, Reflex can just keep on poking and chip their hit point. If they go low enough, they're gonna get a free tower, which I think might happen. If Gragas lands one or two more barrel, Curse is gonna be unable to fight. So Gragas at the same time risks getting gibbed by Veigar if he accidentally gets stunned. So you know, you're balancing the poking and taking the tower and not getting stunned by Veigar and getting gibbed. So like right there, if you're trying to figure out what Veigar is thinking, right, this is when.
Wow, forced flash out of Veigar. Wow.
So basically, what Veigar was afraid of was because Gragas ult is on a really low cooldown.
It's
right?
already back up.
It's already back up, right? So if his ult was up and Veigar got knocked back, that would have been a free tower for Reflex. So, you know, he's like, all right, is it worth it?
Corki has to cleanse out of that cage to avoid getting blasted from Veigar. Still trying to keep away here. Janna with that tornado just keeps Skarner busy just for a moment, just so Curse can regain. Oh, this is a dangerous fight. This is really, really dangerous.
So right now at this point, they're just throwing down their CCs. If they catch one person off guard, that's when the fight's gonna start. So if Veigar can catch the person he needs to catch, the fight's gonna start. If Reflex can catch the person they want to catch, the fight's gonna start. So right now they're just balancing poking and just finding the right opportunity to engage.
Are we gonna see another? Are we gonna see another ult from Gragas? And hopefully we won't be catching Udyr this time. Oh, we're trying to get that counter warding going. They know Skarner's in the bush. Here's the barrel, and Udyr up in front again. But Veigar is ridiculously low. Catches the tail end of that barrel. Skarner in front of fight, flashes in. Oh, cannot get the ult off. Kennen ult goes down. Janna gonna melt right now momentarily. Wow, there's a lot going on.
That's really bad for Curse.
It's really bad for Curse.
Because what happened was, you know, like, Kennen isn't the person you want to ult.
No.
They blew up everything.
Oh
my God.
dear, just smacks Gragas.
Oh, Cop is so strong right now.
Cop getting it. Now
Oh my God.
1v1.
That wasn't that bad at all. It was
No.
4v4. I felt like if Reflex just backed up and regrouped, they'd already won the fight. You know?
Yeah. Reflex, you know, just...
That was a really, really good job on Cop salvaging that fight. And now he's... I feel like when you put that much farm on the carry, he's gonna do work. Now with like 3 or 4 extra kills, I feel like Cop is just gonna decimate whoever runs in now.
Cop is in a really good spot right now. 6-0-5.
And they're gonna get Dragon right now too.
And, you know, we're gonna get Dragon. He's pretty beefy right now, dude.
So like one thing they gotta keep an eye out, okay? I think Curse has a ward on Dragon, so he's not too worried about Reflex taking it. The thing is Cop is low, right?
Yeah.
So Reflex, if I were them, I'd hang around Dragon because I would know that Cop is gonna have to go back soon. So I think Lee Sin is probably just gonna solo Dragon. But right now is when you start contesting Baron. You know, if you have like 2 or 3 bottom, that means, hey, get free Baron.
Yep.
So it's a balance between like being in the right place at the right time too now.
Yep. And this too, Skarner did not rebind oracles. Janna did. So we, we're gonna have a little less vision on the end of reflex here when Baron's coming up. Udyr getting caught right there.
That's gonna give Baron control to Reflex.
Yeah.
But the thing is
They're gonna know.
Reflex is not far ahead enough where they can force a 5v4 and tank Baron at the same time. So I still don't see them picking up Baron. If they can pick off one more person, that would be a free Baron. So like right now, like it's Curse. All they need to do is they just need to hang back, show that they're present, but not engage. That way, Reflex thinks Dragon's still up. They didn't have ward control.
Not. Dragon no longer there. So what I mean, right now, Udyr's not here. If they get off, if Gragas gets off another good ult, it doesn't matter who they grab.
The thing is I think Gragas used his ult to kill Udyr. So
he did, but
in
look
terms
at that though.
it's already up.
It's already up.
It's already up. 57 seconds.
That is.
At level 16, right? I can see Gragas giving Curse a lot of trouble because that ult's gonna come up every 40-ish seconds. And so he's just going to keep on throwing it out. It's not going to be used for engaging. It's just going to be used for poking. Because if you look at the team, right, Curse has no sustain. So Gragas
there
is
it is. Vigar's out in front. He has to flash away. Ooh.
That was a really, really bad engage. Because first of all, right, they weren't as 5. He is reliant on having Soraka to not get bursted down. Right? And Soraka wasn't there to top him off.
No, she wasn't.
And really, like, the only person for that's worth it for Veigar to ult is probably Gragas, right?
Yeah. Because Kennen, 200 AP on Kennen.
Kennen, not only does he have 200 AP, he went Rylai's early.
He did.
So he has Rylai's and he has Murktide, so the damage is significantly less. He doesn't have the bonus AP to take extra damage, right? And he has a lot of HP to not get bursted. So, like, the whole reason why it was so close the first time around was because Veigar ulted the wrong person.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen right now. Curse pushing up mid. Gragas coming back up already. And now we're still looking for seeing, we're still trying to contest Baron. Janna going ahead, doing a sweep for wards, making sure it is clean. It is. Drops down a ward. So right now, and Soraka does have an Oracles now, so she will be doing some cleaning of her own.
So right now, you're just going to see a lot of action around Baron. It's that point in the game where whoever gets Baron is going to get a lot of gold.
And Reflex is just going to go for it.
They can't do this. They can't take Baron and fight 4 people at the same time.
Janna's going to come from behind.
Oh my god, that was a really good catch.
Wow, Veigar going down right out in front after the barrel.
That's the worst person to have in front, though.
Yeah, it is.
That's the worst person.
I mean, that's Udyr's job. Udyr should be just right there taking the brunt, but Veigar just got caught.
Like, Veigar wanted to insta-give Gragas, but I think Gragas just got the jump on him first.
I think he did.
Because what happens is there's a ward in that brush, right?
Yeah.
Even when Janna has an Oracle, you have to walk in the brush to see it, to kill it. So, Gragas had perfect vision on Veigar.
So right now, Reflex is now going back on the offensive, taking down the second tier tower mid lane. We still have a good 10 seconds before Veigar comes back up. Are they going to be able to take this next tower?
No,
I'm not sure.
They're not going to be able to, because there's no creep wave.
There is not.
By the time Veigar gets back up, the creep wave would approach, but by then Veigar has a lot of clearing potential. His W is just going to insta clear whatever wave that comes.
Right. And even then, getting a kill off on Veigar really wasn't enough for Reflex to go ahead and take Baron. It is still there. He's still chilling.
Like, at this point in the game, right, neither team is far enough ahead where they can tank Baron and fight at the same time. So even if it's 4v5 and they have the advantage, they can't tank Baron and fight at the same time. So, it would require at least 2 people to die before it's even worth it to take Baron.
Curse is setting up their wards around Baron. If Reflex is there, they want to know about it. It is so scary seeing both these teams just gathered up. And that's 2 wards in that bush. That's a lot. That should be buying them just enough time to clear all of those wards for Curse to get into position.
Yeah, at this point in the game, like it's close enough where just one slip up can swing the game one way or the other. So it's not just the gold from Baron.
Oh, and there's the
Oh,
there's the shove. Oh, Gregus just immediately melts.
thing is Gragas cannot go in first onto Veigar.
No, he
right?
can't.
He needs to hit Veigar, or Veigar needs to be CC'd before he does anything. Because, you know, like I said, he's gonna die instantly every
Right.
time.
And Kennen is just, there's nowhere left for him to go. And yet, Curse is just going to go ahead. Corki and Soraka cannot do anything against these guys.
That's a free Baron.
That's free Baron.
That's
That
a
is
free Baron.
totally free Baron. Wow. And
Like, I can see why he did that. He was, you know, like, if the game goes into stalemate, you want to make something happen, especially when you're behind. But in terms of engaging, it was just so much safer for Skyrim to flash in and grab Veigar and then kill him and then knock him back.
yeah, I mean, Gragas is just, I mean, Gragas has stacked up a few deaths on his sheet. And, you know, I think he's, you know, he's also got, you know, a bit of that bloodlust going on.
Yeah.
You know, he's, you know, he desperately wants to get that kill off of Veigar because it's really, you know, it's a big battle of the AP carries.
Basically, the fight hinges on either Veigar dying or Gragas dying.
Yeah.
If one dies over the other first, the other team has absolute advantage. But it's going to come to a point where Udyr is going to get so strong, he's going to tank everything. And then Graves is also a threat now, too. So they can't just give Veigar and win the fight.
Yep.
With Baron buff, with the gold advantage, they need to be able to give two people. Now, like, Curses has too much threat
Now
overall.
we saw this last week. We saw the love of the Quicksilver Sash, and Gragas has bought one for himself. And, you know, it's just, you know, I see that being mostly used just to get out of the Veigar cage. You know, get that stun out. But by that time, I think he's already in range just to target you with his ult.
If he is in range for stun, the time it takes to close the distance to get DFG'd is really like a quarter of a second. So, you know, he has to QSS that instantly, and it has to charge out instantly. And if Veigar is already smart casting it, that means he's just going to come in succession. Even if he charges away, the bullets are already flying. It's going to hit you.
So I mean, it'll work good if he can get it off in time, but that's a massive if, and
That's-
not guaranteed.
That's a quarter second reflex. I mean,
Yeah, that's
Gamers has reflex up to like maybe 0.15. So
Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot of leeway, but there's also a chance for him to not say, "Oh, what happened? Oh, I'm dead." You know. But despite that, you know, it does give him enough MR. I'm just curious whether it can survive the burst, because he did get insta-gib before Veigar got Baron buff. So with the Baron buff, he's going to be receiving about like 300 extra damage.
Yeah, he's at 576 AP at the moment. How much does that ult do? That's almost 1,200.
I almost
Plus
felt
the
like
AP.
Gragas should have gone Rada Aegis first. You know, it gives him more poking potential.
Right.
And it also not let Veigar insta-give him. You know, because you have a little bit less AP, but you have a lot more HP, right? So it works both ways and not getting gib. So,
Yeah.
you know, having a quick death cap means that, all right, my team fighting potential is increased a lot because I do a lot more damage, but my survivability potential is nil.
But Rada just seems to be really like the standard for a lot of APs. Like I said, like Morgana comes to mind.
Because what you don't want to happen is you don't want to die before your ult gets off on Morgana. You know, like as an AP, if you build on full glass, you have to play really safe. Like Valkyrin's playing full glass, but he's also being very aggressive, which puts him in like line of danger. So, you know,
and as we've seen, Gragas right there, he's trying to get the dash in, but Gragas has not really been playing all that defensive. He's been kind of like on the front line.
I felt like
half his game.
if he ulted Veigar into him that fight, he would have been gib. Maybe Veigar would have died, but he would have died as well.
Right.
Just at this point in the game.
And you know, this is not really engaged. They want not even on their own tower while Curse has Baron buff. It's almost about to expire though, and I'm pretty sure Reflex knows it. They're just waiting for that right moment. Skarner getting stunned in the cage.
Oh, God.
Melted. Ouch.
Yeah, at this point, it's just whoever gets caught is going to die.
Yeah, and then that's what happens. You know, you caught Skarner in a cage. That is a tower. That is an inhibitor. Already going to go around. They're just going to go ahead, tank this mid. No, maybe not. At least not there. At least this is going to go ahead, take a few hits
It's
on
not
that
worth
tower.
it to tank it.
It's not. Gragas trying to catch up, trying to make something happen. Not worth it. They're down a man. They shouldn't even be engaging on
What
this.
you're gonna see is Curse is probably just gonna go back, go by, try and take top tower, and then they're probably gonna wait for bottom creep to push, and then I think the game's
And that's a lot of money for them to spend too.
that is a lot of money.
Tons. You can get a shiny new Guardian Angel with that kind of money on Cop. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, he really does not. He's not dying. He's not going anywhere.
Definitely not dying. He basically got another life, and Skarner can't ult him.
Yeah.
Skarner's only choice of ulting is Veigar.
Yeah.
That's his only choice.
And,
Nobody else is worth it.
And Guardian Angel really is that kind of ultimate item. Like if you're ahead, this will ensure that I stay ahead. Because it's free extra life, free extra health. He can still contribute, and he's one of their biggest. He's one of the members of the team that deals the most damage. It's him and Veigar doing pretty much the good majority of all their damage.
Yeah, so what happens when you're ahead is if you're winning team fights and your damage is insane and nuts, a lot of times people opt to not go as much damage and go more survivability, because what happens is you have more leeway on misengage because people can't give you. If the team fight drags out longer, you're not as effective, but right now that's not an issue. They're just killing people too fast.
It is absolutely a non-issue right now. Curse is really taking control of this game, man. So and Cop is also taking a hint from the playbook. He also got a Quicksilver Sash a while back as well.
Yeah.
Just just really wants to ensure he just does not die.
Also, well, I guess because he got the Quicksilver Sash, that's why he didn't get ulted. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen Skarner really ult him at all. It's more just Veigar centric. Let's kill Veigar.
Yeah,
Veigar.
like we mentioned earlier, it's just whose AP carry dies first.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Just two gigantic targets. It's almost kind of like almost kind of like some of those like first person shooter game types where you have to kill the leader.
It's not even too bad for Curse at this point, because even if Gragas ults Veigar back, Veigar's still gonna be able to kill him mid-flight. Basically, while she's flying back, Veigar's just go, all right, I'm gonna smart cast QWR and what number ever? Oh, and 1. You just roll your finger across, and then Gragas is dead.
One nice smooth motion, and people just start to die. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing when you're in that type of position in any game where you're just like, I'm just gonna mash my keyboard. Someone's gonna die. It's real easy. So right now, 42 minutes in, Curse right now is in a very commanding lead in this game.
So Baron is up. What Curse
Baron
is
just
gonna
came
do
up.
is they're just gonna wait in the brush. They know that they cleared all the ward. Actually, there's a ward on Reflex.
There is a ward right there in this bush that they've forgotten to clear.
Because that ward is still there. They kind of didn't see Curse.
They have an
walk
idea, but
past it.
Skarner, don't do it.
They're-
But Kennen still gets caught. That is a 2-hit. There's a 2-hit combo to death. Gragas ults, tries to do something. Skarner ult, not going to do too much because he's not with his team.
That does nothing to Jackie. That Skarner can't do anything. There's no damage to follow up. His
He
team's
ulted
already
is
dead.
alone. Corky goes down, and Gragas is being chased
That's
right now by
game.
Lee Sin. That is game. That is the GG's being called out right now. Ace kick to the face. I think we are done here. Curse is just going to go ahead and clean everything up. They're going to take that inhibitor. Curse Gaming taking game number 2. They're just going ahead, clearing up all of the loose ends. Reflex is not going to be able to respawn in time.
I don't even know why they're killing everything. They don't even need to. They can just go through the. I guess it's more fun. You get more gold. You get more gold. It's like, oh damn, I beat him by 20k gold.
You gotta make that graph. You gotta make that graph count.
Damn, look at that gold. So
that is good stuff. Curse Gaming taking game number 2.
I bet Reflex was surprised because
Yeah.
they knew Curse wasn't doing Baron. That's why they didn't face check that brush.
Yeah.
They just got a little too close. That range on that stun it's pretty deadly.
It is.
Whoever gets stunned is gonna die. There comes a point where Veigar just. The thing is Veigar never stops scaling. He never stops scaling.
Man, wonderful, wonderful stuff, man. Just Veigar really just put the ropes right to Gragas.
Veigar is one of those champions where, the longer the game gets, the stronger he gets. Because, you just keep on farming AP, keep on farming AP. He's not terribly strong early game. That's why a lot of people don't play him. But, Curse played it right. They dragged the game on. They played really, really safe. They made sure they didn't lose the advantage early. They just prevented them from doing Baron and kept on farming. And then after a while, it doesn't matter who it is. They're going to die to Veigar.
And also big props to Cop.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at all, man, 18K gold? My God. 356 creep kills. Enough to, he just bought a Guardian Angel straight out to keep his dominant position. And sure, just, I'm not going to die. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going to give you up my spree. You're not going to get that 700-something gold from me.
No way. No way, no how. You're not getting anything from my wallet today. Wow. And but it really was just a battle of the APs. Just who can defend the point.
Yeah. It's just Gragas just got way too up close and personal and just died instantly too many times. And that really gave Curse a lot of control over the rest of the game.
They did have a promising start.
Mm-hmm.
The first few ults by Gragas, those first few team fights did kind of do a little bit for Reflex.
Yeah.
But it just dropped off when Veigar just started getting off those stuns, and just melting Gragas.
Yeah. So I think the game changer was probably when they had already won the team fight and Udyr was one hit from dead. They kind of stuck around. They wanted to kill Udyr really bad.
Yeah.
They got the kill on Udyr, but they lost 2 more after.
Yeah.
And Graves got all of those kills. So
Graves playing janitor today.
that was
highest paid man in the janitorial service.
Yeah.
That will do it. And
18.2K worth.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is
a lot of money.
But we are not done yet. Game 3. Game 3 is coming up. We are sticking it all the way to the end. I'm going to be leaving you guys. Baron's going to be coming back in here. Dan, it is a pleasure. Thank you for coming in today.
All right.
And remember, tweet at IGN Pro League who you think's going to win. We got the mouse pad. We got the hoodie for you if you want to win it. Send us your replays, iplreplays@gmail.com. IPL Killing Spree, Reflex versus Curse, Game 3, coming up right after this. Stay tuned.